Hello and welcome to today's video. Today is another Shop My Stash. It is February, and so we're gonna pull out some loved Valentine's kind of February themed makeup. Let's go for it. Okay, as we get started for the month of February, I have a lot of stuff over here that's gonna stay. This is stuff in Project Pans. Now, all of these items pretty much up front need to go back into the drawers, so why don't we go ahead and get into that first drawer. All right, getting started in this first drawer, we have primers that need to go back. I pulled a lot of primers to test out last month. The Jelly Pop primer I will put back, the Bobbi Brown primer I will put back, the e.l.f. primer I will put back. I'm going to trade them out for some other ones. I know for sure that I want to pull this Radiance Cream. This is just a lotion primer, and my skin has been particularly dry lately, so I think using a lotion as a primer will help. And then I still am trying to finish off, I don't know if I'll ever finish it off, still trying to finish this little guy here off, but I probably will finish this in February, so I'm going to pull a second pore filling primer out. And I think the one I want to pull out is this One Heck of a Blot primer. I want to see if this is something that I can use. I don't remember if it will make me too matte. If it does, I'll probably have to just reserve this for like summer months when I get a little bit more oily, but why not try it out this month? And like I said, I'm going to be putting these guys back for just a month or so. Now this here was given to me by my friend Lou, and she has gotten me addicted to this thing. This is the Magic Lumi Primer by L'Oreal. I love this for creating cream blush. I've been mixing it with this liquid lipstick here from Julep, and it is such a good combination. I'll rub this right here on my hand and get a good little pile of it, and then I would do a little half pump of the Magic L'Oreal primer and mix them together and then use that as a liquid blush, and it's beautiful. I love that combination, so I'm going to leave this out to pair with this for this next month. Okay, I've slid the primers back to where they go, and another item that I use both as a primer and as a kind of like a setting powder, even though it's definitely not a powder. Oh, it's hard to open. This is the Mally Poreless Face Defender, but it is basically like a silicone kind of balm that you press into your face, and it does keep me pretty matte. If I get oily in the day, this is something that I used to use as a blotting thing, but I did try it this past month as a pressed powder, in the place of a pressed powder, and I quite liked it. So I'm gonna put it back for now, but I think I'll probably pull it back out soon, maybe in March or April. Okay, next up, I know I need to put back a ton of concealer. I had 4 different items last month. This one I probably will put into a project pan later on in the year. I really enjoyed this one. And this one here is one that I need to put it in a project pan because it is a cream style stick concealer that I'm afraid would dry out. But for now, I don't think it's the one that I need to focus on soonest to get out. It's definitely not new, but it's also not the oldest concealer. I'll put back my Tarte Shape Tape, but I think I kind of want to leave this Conceal and Define out and mix it with my Urban Decay concealer. This is my Urban Decay concealer. It's a little drying, and I find that the coverage is really not that great. This one has okay coverage, and definitely not Tarte Shape Tape level, but I'm hoping that maybe I can mix these two this next month, and maybe both of them will work for me mixed. A couple more items to put back here. I have a highlight from Becca in Moonstone, really beautiful shade. And then this is Becca, is it Honey? Wild Honey. And this is a beautiful blush, very warm toned. You can see I swatched myself yesterday and haven't been able to get those stains off. But yeah, it's very warm toned that I think I will definitely use more in summer, but for now I'm going to put this back. I also had a lot of fun with this Aurora Glow Kit. Beautiful, fun way to add some pops of color. I definitely wore, I think, the blue a couple times, the purple, and then the white a couple times. I want to get into these pink and orange shades a little bit more in the summer, but for now I'm going to put this back. I do need to pull out my glow kit from the other glow kit I have, this Sugar Glow Kit, because I recently put this into a 11 Favorites project pan, and I haven't pulled it out to start using it yet, but this shade is the one that I rolled into that project, so this one needs to come out. Also, last month I was using my Done palette, and I might pull this out. I will pull this out for Get Ready With Me this next month, but for now I don't think I need to put it into a rotation to use it this month. I'm going to leave this out and just focus on my Lorac Tantalizer one that I just put in also into my 11 Favorites project pan. Alright, quick recap. Primers are pulled. Foundations, I do want to pull this Tarte one out. I want to start wearing this when I do anything on camera when I film, because it's great filming foundation, and I really would like to use this up this year, so I need to start reaching for this regularly, pulling this out, probably leaving this out for the rest of the year. I do not need concealer. I don't need bronzer. Highlight, I did pull out the highlight thing, but I kind of want to pull this back out. This is just such a good winter face palette. This is the Diamond and Blush by Natasha Denona. And this recently she released that like mini love story kind of collection, and it has this cream blush in it, so it made me think about this palette quite a bit, and I just want to play with it a little bit. Even though the highlight that also she paired with it in the little duo looked beautiful, I'm going to try to just see if I can talk myself out of wanting that one, because I do have a duochrome here and I have a ton of other duochromes in my collection. But hopefully this will kind of satisfy that like little bit of FOMO that I have when I see that collection on YouTube. And I believe that's everything for this top drawer. Okay, next drawer we have mostly like loose eyeshadows or single eyeshadows, eyeliners, lip pencils, mascaras, brow products. Now I did have a couple brow products pulled last month. I did pull these guys here. Well, this guy I didn't have pulled. This is one that I'm going to keep out and use in my brows. I don't like, you can see I've been using it in my brows, it's kind of brown. I don't like this as an eyelash primer, but in my brows it works pretty well, so I'll leave that out. This from e.l.f. was also a gift to me from Lou, and I find that I do like it, but it is a little bit warm. I can't even swatch it. It's a little bit warm for my brows. I have a lot of gray in my hair, and therefore like my brows are a little bit more cool tone too. But I think if I pair it with this here, this is the like taupe it brow pencil, and it's definitely like a cool tone lighter shade. And I find, well, it's also like super, I don't know if anybody else has this issue with this pencil, but it's like super hard to build up. That's it kind of built up. It's so hard to build up. But I find that those two pairings work okay, but it's definitely not ideal. And then this is the Ready Set Brow. It's just a clear brow gel from Benefit, but since I'm using the primer kind of as a brow gel, I'm gonna put this back for right now. And I don't need any more brow products, but I did have this liner from NYX last month in Tropical Green. I love this. I'm gonna actually leave this out because it's just such a good like pop of green, fun little thing to have, especially in the winter and going closer to spring. This is like exactly the kind of color that I like to mix in with like peach looks and that kind of thing, so I'll leave this out. I do want to pull out this little guy here. This is just a beige like little cream liner that you would put in your waterline. I'm gonna try to get some use out of that. Also last month I had pulled these two little lip liners out from Italia, which is like this little Amazon brand that I found a while ago, and I like these, so I think these are good staples. I think I probably should work on these. These are not in like project right now, but I would kind of like to work on these just to kind of use them up this year, so I think I might leave these out for a good bit too. Okay, for single shadows last month, I pulled this one. I shot my stash for this one. This is Enchantress by, yes, Enchantress? Yeah, by Stila. And I had to rehydrate this. I didn't realize it had gotten so dry on me. Really beautiful color, especially for like Valentine's Day. But because a lot of my looks have looked the same with like my red little eyeshadow in my Pan Those Eyeshadows project, I'm gonna put this back because I can get plenty of looks with those eyeshadows that look the same. And I also ended up pulling out this guy, which is Twitter Pated, which is so similar. Let me see if I can give you a little swatch. It's definitely not as concentrated of a shade, but it's still very like kind of like a pinky rose gold color, just like Enchantress. I used that one, so I'm gonna leave it upside down to indicate to myself that like, look, you've used it. And then I also used I Heart This, which is a beautiful kind of like cool tone shimmer that I love pairing with like a red lip. So I love that shade, but I am gonna again turn this upside down and try to make myself reach for a couple other ones next month. And the two I have in mind to use are these kind of like more cooler tone shades again in Rainbow. This was like a Hello Kitty collection a long time ago, like one of the first collabs that they did with ColourPop. And it's kind of just like a white glitter, but I do have in mind that I kind of want to play with some pastels this next month. So I think that will go good with some pastels. And then I have Frog, which is also this beautiful like icy pink shade with kind of like a blue reflect in it. So I want to pull that one out too. And last up, I have two glitters that I want to roll in this next month. This is Sea Siren from Stila. Gorgeous, like duochrome, blue, purpley, pink kind of thing. I just love it. And then this one here is the NYX glitter in the shade Crystal Silk, and it's just like a nice little, you can top it over shadows, you can create like a cut crease with it, but nice little glitter top coat that I think will be nice for like Valentine's Day, hopefully. And I think that's it for this drawer for now. Alright, last drawer, we have eyeshadows and lipsticks. This is the fun part. I'll go ahead and show you the items that I'm leaving out because they're in like my Pan Those Eyeshadows project pan. This one here, this is a great color story for February anyway, so I'm kind of not mad at it. You can kind of see the dip I have going in the shade a little bit better in this lighting for whatever reason, but this shade is so hard, but I'm going to leave this color story out because it is in my project. Another palette that is in my current project is this one here, and I'm working on this shade down here, which is a beautiful, again, February kind of shade. I'm also working on this Lorac Pro 3 palette, which is, again, not a bad shade considering that I want to wear some kind of like pink pops of color this month on my lips. So I'll leave this one out. And another palette that is in my project is the Enchanted palette by like Sigma. Also just a stunning, beautiful color story for this time of year. So I'm not mad at having any of those out. One that I am putting back is my Modern Renaissance palette. I did hit pan in this one, so this one can go back. Alright, this next one is the Sol Monde palette from Odin's Eye. I was going to use this last month and I used it one time. So I need to get on it. I've mostly been putting it off because I haven't been ready to film my Get Ready With Me that I want to film. I wanted to kind of do like a first impression style Get Ready With Me. So I will leave this out again and hopefully be able to film those this month. And the last palette that I have to put back is this one here, my Natasha Denona Lila palette. I had a lot of fun pairing this last month with my Pandas eyeshadows. It was the only kind of source of variety and color that I have because I had so many other like kind of very neutral to pink kind of shades last month. So this was nice to have some purples. But I think this month I'm going to let myself pull 2 different palettes to play with versus just having one because I did find myself a little bored towards the end of the month. Alright, the first one that I know that I want to pull is this Marc Jacobs palette. I think this will just be so beautiful for Valentine's Day again. Again, this shade right here is just stunning. I barely touched it and it's just, I don't know if you can see it, but in person, it's just so beautiful. So I definitely want to pair or pull this out to play with in February. Another palette that I know I need to pull is my Sultry palette because I recently rolled this into my Pandas Eyeshadows project. This shade here called Steampunk. That one needs to come out. As well as my Night and Day palette from Revolution Pro. And again, this is such a beautiful, cool toned color story, which is again kind of exactly what I want right now in this time of the year with all the snow that's out. So this one will be really nice to play with. Again, I can't wait. I actually kind of want to get my hands on like this kind of purpley gray shade. Hopefully that will look good with some of my Pandas eyeshadows. So this will come out. And then one more palette, I'm going to pull out my Beauty Bay Pastels palette. I've been eyeing these kind of, I haven't really tried this yet. And I'm thinking that these like 3 like light pinky purple shades will be really nice. You do have to kind of build these up because they are true pastels and they're very white based. But I think like that in February just seems like a really great Valentine's kind of day look. And I do like to theme out my makeup for the time of the year. So I think this one will be a nice one to play with. Alright, last up is lipstick, and because I usually am overwhelmed by this part of my collection and I usually forget to think about it beforehand and then don't end up pulling out lipsticks, I ended up going through this yesterday and pulling out a bunch of items that I do want to reach for this month at least one time. So let me give you some swatches really quick. I won't swatch these nude shades because they're not that fun, but I have Bite Beauty Fig, which is just kind of a pinky toned nude shade that will be really good I think for February. I have these Stila shades here. I can link a video where I have lip swatches of these 3, and then this one here has been one that I've been liking to pair with my lip gloss that's in my 11 favorites project pan. So maybe I can get some good progress on this one this month. But I will give you some nice fun swatches of some other pops of color. This is my Lorac Beauty and the Beast in Red Rose. Such a pretty like kind of a pink toned red lipstick. Then we have this one that's very cherry from Maybelline, and it's also very, but slightly like a blue pinky red. And then have a couple pink kind of statement lips. This one here is Troublemaker from Too Faced. Such a gorgeous matte pink. I love that shade for this time of the year. And then we have Ravishing Rose from Maybelline. I haven't worn this in so long. I kind of want to just see if I still like it on me. It's a little bit more white based. I don't know if that suits me as well as I remember it. So I'm excited to try that out this month. And then a couple more. I have 2 berries that I want to give it like a side-by-side test day with, and like maybe wear them one day and wear the other the next and just see how similar they are on me. But this is Bacca from Stila, and this is Vitamin Beat from Physicians Formula. Very similar, but they do have a slightly different undertone. Like this one's definitely more purple, and this one's a little bit more maybe like pink rather than purple, maybe a little bit more nude in it. This here is just a glittery top coat called Transcend from Stila. I'll keep that with, I'll probably tap that on later in the day over that berry shade. And then this shade here, I love. It's like a kind of a pastel purple almost, and I thought that this might be fun for February. So this is like one of those ombre lip pencils from NYX in the shade Poppy and Lily. I don't know if they sell these anymore, but I love that shade. So I definitely want to play with that this month. Okay, and I do believe that's it for this drawer. Okay, so here we have it. Everything that I have pulled for the month of February. quite a bit, but again, I know that last month I kind of didn't give myself enough variety, so I'm excited to have all these pinks, purples, kind of soft romantic tones to play with for February. Make sure you say hello in the comments, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!